today I am with Miss Julia, and Miss Julia has been training with me intermittently since 2019 of August, and Miss Julia has just been trying Bodybus for a few months. Miss Julia, how is your experience so far?
I love Bodybus, and this is why I continue doing it. I've been training in the gym 4 or 5 times a week since August 2019, sometimes more, sometimes less, had good results, lost some weight, built some muscles, worked with Hector along the way to learn the right techniques, and then kind of stagnated. And when I started with Bodybus, I saw an immediate push in the right direction. So I love Bodybus because it gives me very fast results. It's not a walk in the garden, so it's some work attached to it, but it's also a lot of fun attached to it, and with Hector it's always fun.
Is there any pain associated with it outside of normal flexing and muscle pain?
No, it's not painful. It's not painful. It's an interesting sensation. Nothing to do with pain. It's just stimulation of your muscles, and I think the effect speaks for itself. So I would always do it, and I always come back. If it was painful, I wouldn't come back. Well, I would say Bodybus is like giving me 10 times the effect of what I would usually have in a normal workout. The first time I did it, I was like out of order for a week because I was so sore, and then every other time I did it, I got better, I got used to it, but I also built the relevant muscle to it. So it's much more intense, the results are much more intense, not painful, not uncomfortable, but it's just the equivalent to a really good workout.
So you were 268 pounds. You told me that you had an unhealthy relationship with your food. Tell me a little bit about that.
So when I was young, very young, I didn't have a really easy childhood like many of us. Single mom, always gone, nurse. I was a lot of times alone. So when I got scared or bored or lonely, I ate. And that kind of escalated when my mother married, and it was a very unhealthy relationship with somebody that was an addict. And I really started developing a massive eating disorder, meaning I couldn't find or get any healthy relationship to any type of food. I would be restricting myself of anything. I started to eat in a very disorganized manner, and I would, for instance, not eat bananas because they had too many calories, or I would completely cut out carbohydrates, and then I would completely cut out fat. I stopped eating meats. So all these new types of diets, I tried every single diet that was on the market for years and years, and all it did was putting on more and more weight. So I've ended up with a very, very unhealthy weight, and I've realized that I got bigger and bigger and bigger, and when I had to buy my first size 22, American size 22, I realized that I can't buy in normal stores anymore. I had to go to different stores because I couldn't buy clothes anymore in the normal fashion stores that are around here. So that was my warning sign, and I started having pain in my knees. My mother had a knee surgery not too long ago, and had also a very healthy weight, and at the end she got a surgery on her stomach and lost a lot of weight, and she told me that she was 54 when she had that surgery, and she said she should have done that in her 30s, 40s, and it changed her life. And when I saw what she went through with the surgery, with the knee surgeries, with the way she suffered with her body, I was waking up one day and said, the way I live, I can't die. I have to make a change, and if I don't do it now, I will not be able to accomplish it. And I was 39 that time. I still remember it was 2017 in December, and I woke up one day in December and I said, that's it. I gotta change radically. And at that point, I talked to a coworker, and she looked so happy, and she had lost a lot of weight. And I talked to her and I said, hey, you look really great, what are you doing? And she said she was into intuitive eating. So I started a program on intuitive eating in January 2018, 2 weeks after I had that epiphany saying that I can't continue like this, I have to change. I signed up for the program. It was a small fee, a small monthly fee to do that. And that program kind of taught me how to eat. And the first thing it did is it took away all the restrictions that I put on myself. Like, you can't eat chocolate, you can't eat ice cream, you can't be caught eating something unhealthy in public because people will look at you as somebody that doesn't have boundaries, that doesn't know how to, as fat basically. And that's how I experienced myself. So I started that, and I removed all boundaries, and I only lived according to certain rules, which is I only ate when I was hungry. I ate the things I was craving and wanting to eat regardless of what it was. I took the time to eat and made a space to eat, and then I stopped when I was full. And I radically changed my way of eating, but I also had to change my lifestyle and anything that had to do with the way I was eating, because I used food as comfort. I used food to kill time. I used food because I was used to certain things. And in that program, the lady gave a picture of an elephant. That is our subconscious mind. It stands for our subconscious mind. And 95% of our decisions are being made in our subconscious mind. So we have this path that the elephant always follows, like when you go to work in the morning and you don't even know how you got there. That's how you take your decisions also when it comes to food, to fitness, your lifestyle. So I had to create very consciously those new paths and guide that elephant through the jungle on those new paths. So what I did is I bought elephants everywhere. I have an elephant in every room, at the fridge, anywhere I go. And every time I look at the elephant, I remind myself that my new path is a healthy one. And I don't do things that I used to do, like sitting in front of the TV, eating chips, or only eat in front of the TV. I don't eat in front of the TV anymore because this is how I lost control over my eating habits. So I sit down, I eat, I concentrate on eating, I stop eating. I also changed the fact that I'm watching TV. I barely watch any TV. I replaced that with going to the gym. So I've done this program about probably a year, and I've lost a significant amount of weight, probably around 60 pounds, until a point where I reached an equilibrium. I didn't lose anything more. I kind of hit a wall. And that's when I realized I have to change something else. And that's when I met Hector. So I signed up to 24 to the gym in an attempt to say, okay, let's try this. Yeah, I've never had set a foot into a gym before. I've never done any fitness. I actually made fun of people who did. And I thought, okay, I'm not losing anything more. I do need to lose more. So I need to make a change. And it needs to be a bigger change, like it needs to be a jump. So I signed up with 24. I was paired with Hector, and Hector showed me how to do basic things. And I believe Hector can remember the first time he trained with me, I was like a wreck. I was completely unable to do anything. We had a few sessions, and then after probably, I think we trained 4 weeks together. Then I stayed 5 weeks on those little exercises, and then I signed up for a new set of exercises, and I had already learned a whole lot, and I had started to get much fitter. And I went to the gym almost excessively, like it almost a bit too much, 5 times a week, 6 times a week for 2 hours. Probably not doing the right things, but doing a lot of things, but it helped. And then after that, Hector showed me again, okay, you need to do things differently, you need to do the right posture, not as much, but at least the different mix and the different ways of training. So I've spent, I think, a year, different times on and off, training, but training very regularly. And the change that I've made here is that I must go to the gym every day, and there is no excuse. The only excuse I have is if there is something important to go to with the kids, if there's something important for work, but being tired, wanting to go out, wanting to meet friends was not an excuse. So I had made that change that it was steady, and not to go was the exception. And from there, I lost another probably 20 pounds, but also I built, by the end of 2019, I built 26 pounds of muscle mass, the difference. I lost 20 pounds in total and built 26 pounds of muscle mass over the course of this 1.5 years, basically. And then the pandemic hit, and then the challenge was how to keep it up during that time.
And then we're here in my garage doing Bodybuzz and doing regular lifting, because I believe Bodybuzz should be adapted to your workouts, not replace them. They'll just make everything better. They'll correct imbalances. They'll fix aches and pains that you normally have. And I'm so grateful that you told us that story. And thank you so much. You are one of my favorite people. And thank you.